Hello and welcome, you guys. Just saw the paranormal flashlight go off. Um, I'm here to talk to you today about how to eliminate negative energy. Right now, I have a ton, probably 3 to 5 a week or more, of you that are calling and saying, we are seeing stuff in our house, we are seeing stuff in our apartment, we are seeing apparitions, we are seeing dark shadows, we're hearing bumps and bangs, we are hearing all kinds of paranormal activity. Tina, can you come get rid of it? No, you brought it in, you're going to have to get it out. All right. um Absolutely, I can't get to all of you. Eliminating negative energy sometimes is not an easy thing because some of you have practices that welcome that negative energy back in. Right now, I'm dealing with a family that has 2 small children, and they're having some kind of negative activity happen in their apartment building. A team of mediums and myself focused in on that particular case, and somebody in that apartment building is dabbling with the dark arts. They are conjuring up something. They may be celebrating witchcraft, paganism. I don't care what it is. They're just inviting in dark elements. So it is very hard if you live in an apartment building for me to come try to clear that energy and get rid of it without it coming back in that kind of case. Now, better yet, you guys can eliminate your own negative energy. You have more power as the mother in the household. That holds great power. The husband, the father that owns the property, you have great power. Your kids have great power. You can teach them how to send that stuff off too, okay? First off, if you feel like you have some negative energy in your household, you need to get some sage. All right, let me grab mine here. Here we go. This is a great big ceremonial bundle. I hardly ever use these. They're just for looks. Get some sage. You want to get it going. And you want to keep an ashtray under it because it'll drop hot embers. You want to carry the sage through the house and concentrate on dark, damp areas. You want to concentrate where you see an abundance of clutter in your house. Negative energy will gather on clutter. If you're hoarding, if you've got big supplies of stuff stocked up, some of you are preppers. Some of that can gather negative energy. Anytime you have a lot of chaos, a lot of miscellaneous stuff just kind of around, that is a good place for negative energy to gather. Kind of like dust bunnies. We carry negative energy home every day. We go to work, we go to school, we come home, and as soon as you walk in the door, you go, oh, glad I'm here, glad I'm home. That was a horrible day. Well, you're letting that negative energy go inside the house. Okay, first off, do that outside the house before you step in. Don't bring that in. If you're a bartender, if you're a beautician or a barber, nurses, doctors, anybody that puts their hands on other people, you're going to carry some negative energy home. And I'm not talking about demonic energy. This is just energy. Kind of like the grumblies. All right, you know, everybody carries that grouchiness, and that's what negative energy is. Kind of manifests as grouchy, grumbly kind of things. But that energy can, over time, accumulate. Now, if you're hearing bangs and bumps, if you're seeing apparitions, the first thing I want you to do is not get scared. Oh, what is that? All right, you've already now you're creating a more powerful dark energy. Okay, it's basically just harmless energy to begin with. 9 times out of 10, when there is apparitions that are being seen, they're grandparents, aunts and uncles that have crossed over. Very rare is it that we find demonic energy actually in somebody's house or attached to them. Usually it's a guardian, a guide, trying to let you know, hey, you know what, we're here. And let me clarify that. Man, spirit must be in the room because my nose is itchy. All right, just making sure that light's on. Let me clarify that, and I forgot right where I was going. Oh, criminy. Yeah, pause. Let me pause. I'll be right back. Let me think of that. Okay, I think I remembered. Not enough coffee this morning. Do not give the energy power. And that's how we give anybody, person or entity, that's how we give them power, is by being afraid of them. Now, entities will thrive on that. They will begin to get a little more noisy. They will begin to get a little stronger. The fact that you're already assigning that noise to something negative, you might even be making it up and conjuring it. Because let me tell you, every thought that has ever been thought, from clear back beginning of time through Columbus to us, it still exists energetically. So that's how demonic negative entities really came into being. Somebody made the shit up, but it's real though. All right, so don't get scared. Don't get frustrated. What you need to do is handle any negative energy like you would a friend who came to a party and had too much to drink. Now they're getting a little rowdy in the house, you know. You don't need to do that here. You go home. And that's kind of how you need to get rid of the negative energy, just like you would somebody you know. You don't want to get aggressive. You don't want to be combative. You just want to be stern and say, you know what? It's time to go. Time to go. Now, that's when you get the sage and light it. You want just the smoke from the sage. Now, some of you cannot get those ceremonial bundles. Some of you cannot find sage fast. Go to a bulk food store. This happens to be an Amish bulk food store here nearby. Supermarkets. Can you see that sage is shredded in there? And instead of a $20 bundle, this package was 62 cents. Okay? Carry that smoldering, smoking sage. I don't care if you start at the top and go to the bottom. I don't care if you start at the bottom of the house and go to the top. It doesn't make a bit of difference. It's the intent you have. You're staking claim to your house. You're staking claim to your domain. You know what? You don't want anything in your house that's going to harm your family, your kids, your pets. Usher them the hell out. Go. Be gone. There are thoughts that you have to open a window to let out that negative energy. No, it didn't get in through that window. It doesn't need a window to go out. There are prayers. There are spells. There are incantations you can say. Now, I steer clear of anything that is very ritualistic. I just go by I use my heart chakra for everything. And that's what I go by. I connect with those negative energies and just, I let them know. You can say it out loud. Say, you know what? If you are not of my family, you are not of my blood, you are not in my light, be gone. Simply say something as you walk through the house. You might want to say, no negative energy or emotion is allowed here. Pretty simple, okay? No negative energy or emotion. If you need a little more, then just say, hey, only peace and prosperity is welcome. 2 E's, 2 P's. You got it. Simple. It's your intent. you're loving your family and you're going to save your house and you're going to get rid of any negative entities that are hanging around. Now, sometimes grandma and grandpa will leave scratch marks trying to let you know they're around. If you're living your life some way, doing something that's not good, sometimes as they're trying to get our attention from the other side, they may scratch us. It's hard to control that energy from over there. They're not trying to scratch us. They're not trying to hurt us and leave black and blue marks. But as they're trying to dial that energy in to contact us, that might just be how it manifests. They leave a scratch. So don't assume that it is a negative entity. Touching, feeling. I had one gal get a hold of me because she would sleep in a t-shirt and her underpants. And on occasion, she would feel a hand on her thigh. Sitting in bed watching TV, she would feel a hand on her thigh. It was her grandmother. Now, she assumed it was a negative entity. Now, she's already given that energy. Thought it was a dark being, a being of the dark. She already gave it energy. It was her grandmother coming from a time when women wore nightgowns. We were garbed before we went to bed. Grandma was not approving of her sleeping in a tiny t-shirt and underpanties. Just that simple. So do not assume that every shadow you see, just because it's dark, is a dark entity. They often appear as dark shadows. That's how I even see some grandparents and aunts and uncles and loved ones. They can appear as white mists. They can be any size. Do not assume because you see some big, tall, dark shadows growing up over the ceiling that it is negative, because a shadow will cast, you know yourself that at the right time of the sun, your shadow can be very long, very tall. So don't jump to conclusions. I often see apparitions as they look very similar to heat rising off the pavement, or the fumes coming off a gas can. Okay, that's another way. They can be columns of light or columns of mist. They can be, there's a ton of ways that apparitions can kind of manifest and show themselves a little bit, but like I said, 90% of the time, it is somebody that is in a capacity that, now I started to say maybe you may not be living your life quite right. You know, maybe dabbling with a little, maybe you're the one dabbling with the dark. Maybe you're the one dabbling with drugs and alcohol. Maybe you're the one, maybe not treating the family right, not focusing on yourself. But those are our loved ones. They're trying to guide us. They're trying to go, wait a minute, you're going the wrong way. Our loved ones, their tasks, when they cross over to the other side, is to love, guide, and protect us. We have, all of us have a protective team around us. Now, once you know everybody has them around, whether you have met your grandparents, whether you met uncle, you may be adopted and don't know who any of your family is, have no fear, they're still with you. We're all assigned one guardian, one spirit guide, at least one spirit guide at birth. Some of us get more. Sometimes those spirit guides change in our life depending on what's needed, what kind of path, what their expertise is. They can change. And sometimes some of us have like a whole dream team behind us the whole time. Most of you do. Now I want you to call in those beings and ask for their guidance, ask for their help, and ask for their protection. You can do that while you're carrying your sage through the house if you want to. But I do not want you to think that automatically It is a negative entity. Now, you need to carry that attitude that you're, well, I'm going to get rid of this and it's going to be done. Same way I mentioned about the analogy of having that friend that had too much to drink. Same way you would usher them out of the house and say, look, you got to go. You had a little too much to drink, you got to be gone. All right. That's how you do it. That's how you stake claim to your own home. I can come out and do that. I can't get to everybody. I cannot get to everybody. So I hope this video helps you dial in how to get rid of negative energy. Several different kinds. We've got day-to-day little stuff like fuzz bunnies that can collect and gather, and they don't get nasty. They're just, it just kind of hangs in the way like cobwebs. You can't get through the day, and negative energy just kind of makes it, when you burn sage, it will neutralize the energy. It also has an antimicrobial benefit. It will eliminate some of the bacteria in the air. There's a lot of good reasons to go ahead and just neutralize the energy. Then it's up to you to welcome in the positive energy. Change those thoughts. Don't automatically go to the negative on anything, because every time you go to the negative on anything, you're creating it. We are what we think. We manifest what our focus is on. So you need to learn to be a little more positive, a little more upbeat, and a little more light. There's nothing wrong about having a Mary Poppins kind of attitude in this day when so many people are nasty, grouchy, and just unlivable, okay? So there you have it. I hope this helped you. And you know what? I never leave you guys that I don't bless you with love and light, and I hope to see you all soon.